The AB Scout Project. I'm Krager. This is off Bravo, and today we've got the Age of Prime Tailgate, and this looks actually pretty good. And this, of course, is a retool of the Wind Charger with some changes to make it look like the tailgate animation that we saw in the first episode of season 3, or actually, I think it was the third episode. But anyway, somewhere in the Five Faces of Darkness when Trypticon smushed him, and that was the last we saw of him. So. To get them look not too bad. Now you will see that the tires don't fold in like they did on Wind Charger, because his animation model had the tires on the outside, and if they do have the hinge, but if you try to hinge them around, they were going to pop off. So don't bother with that. But still looks pretty good. And yeah, head moves. You have a lever on the back to make them look down and up. So pretty neat. Shoulders on the ball joint, so it can do whatever it needs to do. You got this. Nothing on the wrist, because actually you can turn the wrist because it is on a ball joint, but it'd be a pain. So it does have a waist, and legs do what legs should. The ankle tilt is on the below the knee, so but it does have extreme tilt. So kind of like the Wind Charger in that aspect. Overall, not too bad. The coloration is a little off for G1. This is more of, I think it was somebody's fan art that they made this coloration off of, but I'm not too terribly mad at it. All right, so some comparisons. We'll bring in the Make Toys tailgate, which is our current Lost Light IDW tailgate, which I don't know why he decided not to stand now. He's standing anyway. But no, this is definitely, the Make Toys is the definitive IDW Lost Light tailgate, so I don't anticipate, ever replacing that. I mean, the scale is perfect, the look is perfect. I mean, you even got the bomb disposal on his arm, so there's no replacing that. So the Make Toys is going to be our IDW. But a more poignant choice is going to be the G1 with the Power of the Primes here, which I think I have mistransformed on that head. But yeah. And you see the difference in coloration where this is supposed to be more like the cartoon. They did de-emphasize the block around his head because the cartoon model, kind of like with the first season to second season when Sideswipe had a very stylistic model. First Aid had a more toy accurate model. Same thing with Tailgate. Wind Charger had a more stylized model, while Tailgate got the more toy accurate one. So that's why he has the more of a blockhead here, less of a blockhead here, because they kind of tried to cut the middle between the IDW and the G1. So we'll wait to the end to get our final on G1. But yeah. All right. Not too much else to say about him. It's Tailgate. All right. Let's go to the car mode. And here we have Tailgate in his car mode. And they gave him the mag wheels like the original G1 toy had. Even gave him the mismatch on top between the hatch and the main that the original G1 toy had. It does have the magnetic effect still in the mount, still in the mold from Wind Charger. So that's still there, but they did alter the wheels a bit. Rolls pretty well, actually. The gun can mount on the inside here, so you can have a tailpipe. It also is supposed to go up in here as well if you want to. I couldn't get it to fit, so this is the way I do it. And yeah, and you can also, with the gun, there's a 3mm peg on the side here. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, the 3mm peg means you can store it in the stand mount hole on his butt if you don't want it on his hand. So there you go. But yeah, it is a tailgate. It is a G1 tailgate. All right, bring in the IDW. IDW is IDW. Two different worlds. So yeah. More importantly, bring in the Power of the Primes, and you see Power of the Primes has some gapping issues. And yeah. Tires definitely on the advantage on the New Age of Primes. This one does close out a little bit better in the back there, but not too bad. And yeah, and they both look pretty much the same from underneath. Yeah. So yeah, get that back on. Of course, you have a tab here and a slot here, and you just put that on there. Or actually, upside down. There you go. You have slots on both sides. So there we go. That fits. So yeah, not a whole lot to say about it. Let's go ahead and do our final decision. So, is this our new IDW G1 tailgate? Well, IDW is, of course, the mate toys and will be for the foreseeable future, which I don't see anybody, I don't see anybody doing better than this. They just nailed it with this. So, G1. I'm going to go ahead and give it to the new Age of Primes, just because the power of the Primes has those arm windshields dangling off, where the Age of Primes is cleaner. Coming back, a little less hollow on there, and less the whole car mode on his back. Granted, most of the car mode is in his feet. For the new one, more, it has a knee tilt, and has a waist. So overall, posability, appearance, yeah, it's our new G1. So Power Primes is out. So our new G1 tailgate. Get that knee to bend. That's super stiff. Is the Age of Primes. All right, let's go on the next one. And last up for today, we've got the new point blank and pinpointer for the Age of Primes. And did I spend $30 for a head sculpt? You bet I did. I know I'm notoriously cheap, but man, the first head sculpt they gave us. Granted, this is the G1 comic, Marvel Comics. This is the season 4, head sculpt. But this is so much better. This was our toy head sculpt. This was the Headmaster's toy sculpt. This is the IDW head sculpt. I mean, this is the more quintessential than this, even though this is what appeared in the original series that aired in the US. So this looks so much cooler. Anyway, since we got this one here, all the articulation's the same. The head is the only new mold. They did add more details, like they added the Autobot symbols, some flame effects, things we'll get into in car mode. They took away the transparent and colored it in, so it's a little bit less likely to break in that aspect. They did take off the silver down here, but otherwise, and this is cast in a different shade of red than this one, kind of a little bit darker shade. I think this is closer to the toy red, and this is closer to the animation red. Don't quote me on that. Shades of red aren't friends with me. Anyway, we'll turn around and kind of see what we got here. More of the differences are in the car mode. Like I said, they got rid of that clear plastic, so hopefully not as fragile. Not like I've had any trouble with the point blanks breaking, but yeah, not too bad. Like I said, nothing really on the articulation front change. No molds, just the head sculpt, which I'm pretty happy with. So go ahead and compare it to my current IDW point blank with my custom, and yeah, world of difference. Yeah, this was the Night Beat that I just put some red on and called it a day, and repainted one of the Siege Target Masters. So yeah, I still like the Siege Target Masters better, just because the Siege Target Masters do have articulation. We at least have 4 points of articulation with the Siege. Whereas with the new one, let's go ahead and show that off, is pretty much just a smaller version of the original G1. You can see there, they did put some paint apps on there, so it doesn't look too bad. Turn them around there. let's go ahead and grab the first release. Just a little bit more paint on the shoulders with the new release, but otherwise not a huge difference between the two. This is the old, this is the new one. So this was probably more to the animation where they didn't want to do as much in the animation. So yeah, really not a whole lot more to say. So let's go on and check out his car mode. And here we have Point Blank and Pinpointer in the car mode, which looks like the old one. There is some like overspray here. I don't know if you can see that on the hood there that kind of detracts from it. But overall, it looks pretty well. You added the little flame effects, the Autobot symbol we saw on the shoulder. Otherwise, of course, they did change the configuration of the windshield, where the first one we got was all the way back. I like this better. This looks like more like a car, and again, you wind up with a more IDW Headmasters look like this than with this. But yeah, you can see we lost the hood Autobot symbol, but I'm fine with that. Yeah, not a whole lot different. Like I said, just the shade of red and the repainting of all the transparent, or the transparent gone, both roll pretty well. Yeah, not a whole lot to say. And just for fun, bring in my custom. And you can see I just painted red and left the original Nightbeat teal where it was. And I think it created a pretty, modern take on it. I could have done some work on the headlights, but then you also see where the red got kind of thin. But yeah, I mean, this was a Nightbeat that I bought for like $2 on eBay. So yeah, do like the tail end of this one better. But yeah, that's about it. So let's go ahead and do our final choice here. So is this our new IDW G1 Point Blank? For IDW, I'm going to say yes. Even though I did make the custom, this is the Point Blank. This is your IDW Point Blank. So it does take over for IDW, and I got a lot of customs that I need to sell. Anyway, G1. Alright, now this is going to be personal preference. So, if you like the 4th season where he barely appeared, and the Marvel comics, or the I think the UK comics, they look like this too. If you like those Marvel comics, okay, this is the guy for you. This is your man. For me, though, it's this one, because this was one of the few toys that I had of that year. I remember this head sculpt being on the toy. I loved playing with the toy. They made it look more like the animation model, which made it look more like the IDW model. So for me, this is the clear winner. So if you like the other one, that's okay. You can have opinions. But for me, this is our new IDW G1 Point Blank. All right, let's wrap this up. And that's it for today. A new G1 tailgate and a new IDW G1 Point Blank that I'm super happy with. I'm glad I spent the money for a new head sculpt. Even the new chest paint, just awesome. So, thanks for joining us today on the AB Scale Project. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, ring that bell, and I'll see y'all later.